Picture your rookie star battling through aches and pains while management debates whether to rest her or risk it all. Add whispers of declined trades, scathing league-wide warnings, and a legendary player calling out the sport's physicality, and you have a perfect storm.
Is them trying to find a proper trade because they just waived Juana Bonner and we got nothing for her, bro. They simply let her leave. Now, this is crazy to me. How could somebody that you pursued, wanted to have on his team, just say, you know what? I don't want to play for y'all no more. Like, what the hell? She literally said, you know, I just don't want to play for y'all no more. And y'all simply said, okay.
Today, we unpack the chaos that turned the Indiana Fever's front office into primetime drama. It began with high hopes. Dana Bonner, a veteran with multiple All-Star nods and championship pedigree, was brought in as the stabilizing force for Indiana's youthful core. The front office pitched her on a vision, leadership, influence, and an offensive system designed to amplify her strengths.
You can leave. Like, where do they do that at? And y'all literally get nothing for it. Y'all just waived her. Nothing. Well, new information is coming out. Allegedly, I gotta put allegedly on here, that Juana Bonner actually turned down potential trades and landing spots. Hold up, Strecky, wait a minute. You mean to tell me she took it upon herself to tell the world, you know what? I'm not going here, I'm not going there.
But reality unraveled quickly. Behind closed doors, sources suggest Bonner voiced repeated concerns about unclear rotations, limited usage, and a lack of transparency in team direction. Instead of resolving the friction, management stayed silent, or worse, dismissive. Allegedly, Bonner requested clarity on her role or a trade if she wasn't part of the long-term vision. Not only were her requests ignored, but negotiations collapsed entirely. What followed blindsided everyone. Bonner waived her own contract. No trade package, no draft picks, no sign-and-trade workaround. Just a sudden exit and a $200,000 cap hit left behind. In a league where every dollar matters, Indiana got nothing, and executives across the WNBA took notice. Stephanie White adopted a motion offense modeled on the Connecticut Sun's celebrated system. Quick passes, constant screens, and spacing designed to generate high-percentage looks. In the first two games, Indiana averaged 18 assists per contest, rode a 45% three-point clip, and seemed poised to dominate. Then cracks appeared. By Game 3, pacing slowed, ball movement stalled at the elbows, and screens began to collapse. Instead of dynamic interchange, the offense felt formulaic. Basic handoffs without follow-through, and predictable pick-and-roll sets that defenses dared to challenge. Sources inside the locker room say White chose simplification to reduce in-game play-calling stress, but that decision cost the team its identity. Guards hesitated at the top of the key, unsure whether to read, roll, or reset. Without clear reads, Caitlin Clark found herself boxed out of the action, her passes forced into tight windows. By mid-season, advanced metrics exposed the flaw. The Fever ranked in the bottom third in both offensive rating and screen effectiveness. Opponents navigated picks effortlessly, ducking under or slipping around them, turning what was meant to be the offense's engine into its dead weight. When referees missed subtle holds and hand checks, players adapted by avoiding drives altogether.
Never too old to learn from the youngins, all right? It's dope. It's dope. I love it all the way around, man. And the way that they're communicating on this bench, it's beautiful, man. Now, we know in that Dallas game, they started off hot. Started off really hot. Then they started slowing down in the second. It got bad in the third, and they just kind of survived in that fourth. But yeah, the pick and roll was beautiful at first. It was beautiful. Then they just kind of ran from it, and then the
settling for contested jumpers instead of attacking collapses. This wasn't just a schematic failure. It was a misalignment of personnel and philosophy. White's motion sets never fully accounted for Clark's unique court vision or Bonner's spacing gravity. Instead of evolving the scheme, the staff doubled down on a rigid playbook no longer suited to the roster's strengths. And as each game ended with frustrated huddles rather than triumphant celebrations, fans began to wonder, did the Fever sacrifice creativity for convenience?
Caitlin Clark burst onto the WNBA scene with 30-point triple-doubles and electrifying playmaking. But behind the highlight reels, a nagging groin issue threatened everything. After each standout performance, Clark's mobility suffered, forcing trainers to debate two camps,
bench her for full rest, or push her through the pain to satisfy sky-high ticket and viewership demands. League sources report Fever management held marathon meetings, sometimes spanning 48 hours, arguing over minutes limits, practice reductions, and targeted rehab protocols. Analytics staff flagged a 22% drop in Clark's driving efficiency when playing back-to-back nights, while medical leads warned extended strain risked a season-ending setback. Yet marketing executives, eyeing TV ratings and sponsorship clauses, pushed for her return as soon as she passed basic physicals. Caught in the middle, Clark endured a stop-start rotation, one game limited to 20 minutes, the next back to 35. The inconsistency derailed her rhythm, reflected in her split-second shot timing dipping from 1.2 seconds pre-injury to 1.5 seconds post-injury. More concerning, her average distance covered per game fell by 15%, a sign her normal explosive bursts were compromised. The fallout extended beyond the box score. Friction grew between Clark and coach Stephanie White. Access to training data was reportedly restricted, and Clark's private sessions with team physicians drew scrutiny from upper management. Fans noticed all of her themed social media posts imploring patience one week and lamenting her absence the next. Amid this tug-of-war, Clark's trust in the organization frayed, with insiders suggesting she privately questioned whether Indiana valued wins over her long-term health. The coaching rift reached its peak after a road loss in Dallas, where Clark played through visible discomfort, yet saw her usual plays sidelined late. Critics argued White's rigid scheme left Clark exposed physically, forcing unnecessary mid-range attempts instead of off-ball rest. Imagine declining not one, but multiple trade offers. Then becoming a free agent nobody wants. That's allegedly what happened with Bonner. Sources say as early as week 2, the Fever front office presented her with several potential landing spots, only for her to veto every option unless she went to a preferred destination. Some insiders point to the Connecticut Sun, where she once found success. Others claim she held out for a title contender. Meanwhile, the Fever's negotiating flexibility evaporated, leading to a dead end. Bonner walked away under her own power, and other teams, wary of her willingness to honor commitments, were reportedly advised against claiming her off waivers. This scathing "do not pick" label isn't just speculation. It's the kind of league-wide red flag that can end careers. But the real drama was unfolding on every possession. They call it basketball's bread and butter, but here, it's a hot mess. Indiana's early pick-and-roll sequences dazzled, with Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston executing crisp screens and quick reads. Yet by mid-season, spacing issues and half-hearted contact had turned the offense stagnant. Screens failed to stick. Defenders literally ducked under picks and harassed ball handlers into turnover territory. Worse, inconsistent officiating allowed illegal contact to go unchecked, forcing Caitlin Clark into a grind of self-created offense. Exhaustion set in, and with it came questionable shot attempts from deep, simply to avoid driving into double teams. The solution? More off-ball actions, backdoor cuts, flare screens, and double staggered picks designed specifically to free up Clark and reduce her physical burden. Until management commits to upgrading their screening game, the Fever will remain stuck in neutral. And if you think that's bad, check out who's weighing in on the sidelines. When a league icon speaks, her words carry weight, and Sue Bird made every syllable count. As part owner of the Seattle Storm, Bird publicly criticized the WNBA's physical standards, citing a 30% increase in games featuring visible injuries compared to 3 seasons ago. She highlighted footage of players exiting with missing teeth and facial cuts, blaming inconsistent officiating for allowing excessive hand-checking and illegal screens. Bird argued that overemphasis on physicality detracts from the sport's strategic and skillful core. In a recent interview, she stated, "If we want to showcase elite basketball, we must enforce the rules that protect players and let talent, not toughness, define outcomes." Her comments resonated. Twitter engagement on the topic spiked 250% within 24 hours, with hashtags like fair play trending across basketball communities. Then Bird dropped a bombshell. She's open to stepping into the commissioner's chair. Citing her 19-year Hall of Fame career, business investments, and collaborative leadership style, she asserted that a former player's perspective is crucial for balanced policymaking. Bird's potential candidacy ignited debate. Could an athlete owner successfully navigate labor agreements, broadcast contracts, and league expansion plans? Critics praised the idea, noting Bird's prior role in negotiating WNBPA collective bargaining, while skeptics warned of conflict of interest concerns. Bird's intervention exposed more than just officiating flaws. It underscored systemic issues in how franchises manage player welfare and league standards. If the WNBA takes her challenge seriously, it could mean stricter rule enforcement, revamped safety protocols, and a shift toward valuing player health alongside entertainment value. For the Fever, Bird's spotlight is a stark reminder. Organizational missteps echo beyond the locker room, shaping public perception of the entire league. So where does that leave the Indiana Fever? A front office that lost a veteran for nothing, a coach whose system sputtered, a rookie superstar battling injury and exhaustion, and a league legend challenging the sport's very foundations?